Hey everyone, it's Miss Elizabeth and I'm here with another Art Attack video for December, and we are going to be making these little ornaments with Shrinky Dink paper. So you'll need to pick up a packet at the library. So you'll have to register for the program in order to do that. Otherwise, if you happen to have Shrinky Dink paper at your house, or if you would like to get some, I know it's available at Michael's, you're welcome to follow along with this video as well. So this is the finished product. Later on I'll put a little ribbon through the top so it will become an ornament. Also, if you wanted to use it as a keychain or something like that, you're welcome to do that as well. So let's go over what you're going to get in your packet here. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Okay. In your packet, you're going to get a black permanent marker, a red permanent marker. You're going to get 2 sheets of Shrinky Dink paper. And then you'll get 2 images, one of Santa and one of a snowman that you can use to help you draw your image. And I think that's everything. Yep, that's everything we have in our packet this month. So some things you might want to also have around to make it a little bit easier are, you might want to have some painter's tape to help you hold down everything while you're tracing it. And then, of course, a pair of scissors you're going to need to cut out your images once they're done. And you're going to need a hole puncher to make that hole in the top. And then you'll need some string or something like that to put through the top of it so that you can hang it. And we'll go ahead and get started, but just so you're aware, you will have to be putting these in a toaster oven or an oven. So make sure that you have your parents' permission and that they're supervising you while you're doing that part of it. But let's go ahead and start with the tracing. We'll start at the beginning. So what you're going to do is you're going to have your image, and we're going to do the snowman for this one, and then you're going to place that Shrinky Dink paper, and you should be able to see the image pretty well underneath. So you're just going to place it so that you get the whole image in there. And then we're going to go ahead, and you don't have to use tape, but I feel like it does help me a little bit because then it helps the Shrinky Dink paper from shifting. So if you do use tape, you want to use something like painter's tape, something that's not going to be super permanent, because it'll just make it a little bit easier to take off when you're ready. Okay, so then we're just going to go ahead, and you should be able to see the image pretty well through the Shrinky Dink paper, and you're going to use your permanent markers that were provided. And with Shrinky Dinks, you want to make sure that you're using only permanent markers. You can't really use anything like crayons or anything like that. They need to be markers and they need to be permanent. I'm just trying to go pretty quickly through it. But you, of course, can take your time doing this to make it look exactly how you like. that there's another little bit over here. And if you need a little extra light to help you see it better, go ahead and get by an extra light. You get a light right above you or something like that. That should help too. Like I said, I'm just trying to get through pretty quickly so I can show you all the steps. Okay, so I outlined the whole thing. In black. So now I'm going to go ahead and color in any areas that I want to be black. So I think I'm going to make his top hat here black. And I think I'm going to make a little ribbon part red. But these, so the white of the Shrinky Dink paper, you don't have to color that in. That will come out white. Okay, let me go with the red. And you want to be careful with the red because the red and the black will bleed together. So you want to make sure you're not getting too far into the black when you're coloring with the red. Okay, and make his nose black too, because that will be like a piece of coal. And like I said, feel free to take your time with this, make it however you like it. If you want, so you'll get 2 sheets of Shrinky Dink paper in your packet. So if you want to, you know, do one that we're tracing just to kind of get the hang of it, and then do one where you are, maybe if you want to do your own sort of image, if you want to draw something by yourself, that's okay too. You can do that. But Shrinky Dinks are a lot of fun to make. So feel free to get creative with it. I'm going to give him little red mittens here. And because it's shrinking, also keep in mind that you'll be, I mean, when it's big like this, you're able to see all the streaks and everything. You won't be able to see that as well when it shrinks down to its permanent size. So don't worry too much if it's a little bit streaky. Okay, I think I'm pretty much done. Okay. Oh, and the other thing I was going to mention, if you do decide to do your own designs, or if you, with these designs, if you decide to add different colors, if you happen to have permanent markers at home that are different colors, feel free to use those. They just need to be permanent markers. Okay. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and cut out your image. And I have little scissors. I feel like I have better control with the little scissors. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut so there's just a little bit of white outside of my design because I just don't want any of the part that I drew to get cut off. So here we go. I think that the snowman should be a little bit quicker to cut out than the Santa. He has a little bit, if you can see, he has a little bit trickier parts. These parts are a little bit trickier. The snowman seems to be going pretty quickly. And this part's going to be the tricky part. You have to be really careful with the Shrinky Dink paper because it does tear. So let's see if I can show you. Let's see, if you have like a little snip, it will tear like that. So these tricky areas, you just have to be careful because sometimes the paper will just tear as you're trying to go in and out of the tricky parts. So just take your time. And do the best you can. And you can always go back and tidy it up a little bit if you would like. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and show you. I cut out Santa already. So when you have it all cut out like this, you are going to make sure to do this part. You see I already punched the hole, so you're just going to take a hole punch and you're going to punch a hole far enough in so that it has a little bit of something to hold on to. You don't want to have it too far close to the edge. And you want to make sure that you do this before you put your Shrinky Dink in the oven because you will not be able to punch it after you put the Shrinky Dink in the oven. So make sure if you want a hole in yours, so if you want to use it as an ornament or if you want to use it as a keychain or something like that, you want to make sure that you're going to punch that hole in your Shrinky Dink before you put it in the oven. Just want to emphasize that. Okay, so then I will show you the Shrinky Dink instructions. So what you're going to do after you cut out the shapes and you punch the hole is that you're going to bake it in an oven or a toaster oven. Either one will work. You are going to need your parents' permission to do this and adult supervision to do this part. So make sure that you talk to your mom or your dad, your grandma, grandpa, anybody who's an adult who can supervise you. So what you're going to do is you're going to preheat the oven to 325 degrees. And then you're going to use parchment paper or tin foil to line a baking pan. So that's like what you would put cookies on, something like that. But you want to make sure that it has parchment paper or tin foil on it. And then you're going to put the Shrinky Dinks on there with the colored side up. And then you are going to, once the oven's preheated, I should say. So then you are going to let the Shrinky Dinks sit in the oven anywhere from 1 minute to 3 minutes, and hopefully you'll have an oven light so you can kind of watch as they shrink up. You might notice that they start kind of folding in on themselves, but that they will start unfolding on themselves if you give them enough time. So don't panic if you see them kind of shrinking up into themselves. And then once they're flat, then you are going to let them sit in there for another like 30 seconds just to make sure that they're nice and flat and ready to go. And then you can take them out of the oven. Make sure that you, like I said, make sure you have parent supervision for this or adult supervision for this. And you definitely want to make sure that you're using an oven mitt or something like that to protect your hands when you're taking them out of the oven, or your adult should do that if your adult's going to do it for you. And then you are just going to let them cool off. And once all that is done, then that's what you get. You get a little Christmas ornament or keychain, whatever you like. And it's super fun process, super fun to do. So I hope you really enjoy this. And then I will show you also, I'll go ahead and put this through the top. I'm going to cut it to make sure that it's nice and ready to go. Okay, so then you're just going to put a piece of string through the top. And this is pretty thick for this. That's okay. And you can make it however long you want. If you want it really long or if you want it shorter. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm giving myself enough that I can easily tie it. Okay, I'm going to see if I have enough for a bow. Let's see. I do have enough for a bow. Okay, so now I have my little bow on top and he's ready to go on the tree. There you go. That is your Shrinky Dink ornament. And I hope you have so much fun with these. This is one of my favorite little projects to do. So please, if you would like, take pictures of your creations and share them with us on Facebook, or you can tag us in your pictures on Instagram. We would love to see what you come up with. And I will see you on the next Art Attack. And I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Goodbye.